It's something very basic that is extremely entertaining and fulfilling. It satisfies deeply, and that is a conversation. I wish I were now with someone else to have a good conversation. Talk about the river and the trees, life, offer my perspective, hears hers or his. Isn't it fun to have a conversation? Don't you remember many moments? There are people that sometimes you talk to and you always go into laughing mode, smiling, making jokes, teasing each other. Have a good conversation. Have a conversation. Honest. Ask about feelings. What do you feel, dear? What do you really fear? What do you dream about? What are you looking forward to? Or just talk about the sky, the air. Share what's the most satisfying thing for you besides sex and food. Something that doesn't involve taking in or giving, just something that is out there for the taking. Have a good conversation. Not a seduction conversation, that's a different experience. Not try to get anything from the other person. Have a conversation with somebody really different from you. Different in age, background. I do enjoy intelligent conversations, but then they get very intellectual as opposed to coming from the heart. So all conversations have their own value. Have a conversation with an old person, asking about their memories. So many old people who are dying with incredible memories that are not being shared or recorded. I remember this old man who now is gone and talking about growing up in Italy during the fascist times and what that was. And that neighbor next door who was, I think, from Estonia, and he had ice skates in a country where there was no ice to skate, but he kept those ice skates after fleeing the Baltic countries. The woman I had lost track from the Ivory Coast who didn't have a sense of smell. I never talked enough to her about how it was not to have a sense of smell. she cooked, and she cooked good. But then she didn't have a sense of smell. I know my father went down with many stories he didn't share. He chose what to share. We do that, we share selected stories. The thousands and thousands of stories we accumulate in a lifetime. And then the people who participated in them, they start disappearing, and we disappear ourselves, and then the stories go. So-called primitive cultures always have storytellers. It's almost like a job in the community to be a storyteller. All the elders are storytellers. They mix their own stories and stories they heard that were passed along, all the legends, all the stories. Like in Africa, when they say that God created a hippopotamus, and hippopotamus wanted big teeth, and God was like, I cannot give you big teeth because you're going to eat other animals. But the hippo insisted, so God told the hippo, okay, I'm going to give you big teeth, but you cannot eat other animals. You shall eat only grass and plants. And to be sure you're not eating any animals, I'm going to make you shit all over the place, like find your shit. And that's what hippos do. They poop like somebody threw a can of crap against the wall or against a plant or a tree or a rock. And that was because God wanted to be sure there were no bones or feathers or traces of animals in that poop. Imagine growing up and having an elder tell you that story and tell you why hippopotamus poop the way they do, why they poop all over the place. Uncle, have a good conversation. Little bird, are you gonna catch flies? You want to have a conversation? You eat a lot of flies every day. I've seen you eat half a dozen in 10 minutes or 15. What do you eat? 100 a day? God. Ugh. Well, good luck. There you go. Do you have a target? Yeah. Launch forward to get your fly.